Sonic Universe issue 13. So why isn't this part of the main comic? It involves the Freedom Fighters. If you skipped these issues, you'd be confused. Marketing ploy, I guess. Gotta get them to start buying Sonic Universe somehow. We start out right away with Sonic fighting a Spider Ninja, with more of them to come. The village elder Lee tells Sonic to hurry to the Temple of the Golden Lotus for a plan. We then see a flashback of him giving Sonic and Tails a tour of the temple hours ago, saying that this land was where the dragons first showed up. Rather stereotypically, the dragons are described as misusing their power and warring with each other for generations. Fortunately, they eventually felt ashamed of the ruination they brought to the land, and vowed to leave and settle throughout the world. Why did it take them that long to decide that? We're never going to see Dulcie again, by the way. Before they left, the dragons left a prophecy of Monkey Khan. The Elder tells Sonic that while they're safe for now, the others have been captured, and calls himself a poor steward. Some ninjas show up, and after Sonic spin dashes at one and somehow doesn't kill him, he somehow realizes that the ninjas are holding back, and the ninja explains that the master learned of his arrival wanted to meet him, so they're ordered to kidnap his friends. Sonic lampshades they are better off importing a chili dog recipe, and goes to meet up with his tied-up friends. When asked if he'll meet the master with obedience and humility, which he's expected to have for her for some reason, he lampshades, yeah, because those are totally my key traits. With the ropes gone, Khan complains that being beaten so easily is only half as embarrassing as needing Sonic to save him. He's not that different from Falco then, and Sonic tells him to get over himself. With Sally looking upset, Khan tells Sonic to let him talk to her while he and Tails will go on ahead. I like that Sonic glares at him jealously for that, since he wants to be the one to talk to her. Sally admits that she hasn't been at the top of her game for months, and explains with tears in her eyes that she was too stupid to arrest Eggman when she had the chance, she lost the Nanite City, and now she spent her first few hours of the mission as a hostage. I really like that they lampshaded how stupid it was of her to not arrest Eggman. Although considering he'd end up arrested in the city anyways, she should be saying that she should have arrested Snively as well. She exclaims that she used to handle swap bots, and now she's only free because she ran away from the fight. It's refreshing to see her have a moment of weakness like this. It humanizes her. Khan reassuringly puts his hand on her cheek and compliments her on her leader skills, and then points out that while Sally got kidnapped, so did Khan, and he's way stronger than her. For some reason, Sally said he had a lousy pep talk, even though he literally called her almost perfect, and yet she's reassured anyways. Even if you ship Sonic and Sally for some reason, I like this a lot because, well, Khan doesn't really get any sort of moments like this with Sally, so it's refreshing. Then Sonic goes to meet with the Bridge of the Endless Reach, who knows the course of fate. While Sally and Khan are all formal with her, Sonic and Tails are all casual and informal. Fortunately, the bride isn't offended. She probably finds it refreshing at this point, although she doesn't say that. She says that she would love to hear Sally's account of the clan's dearest daughter, Uma Arachnis. This is awkward. For some reason, Sally's surprised that she's from this clan when it should be obvious. Sally gives this recap that could have easily been cut past for our sake. She then reveals that Arachnis' kids were captured in the egg graves and couldn't be rescued in time. I didn't know that. Oh well. The bride says that while the clan will be sad from the news, they're glad that their fates were fulfilled. Why? Arachnis explains that Uma, and indeed all of the Arachni, have always been the most gifted readers of fate. Uma saw that the last relics of the Source of All would fall into the hands of evil, and ensured that they'd be destroyed even after her death, instead of sending the relics of the Source of All, like, to another country, or the other side of the world, or another planet. Now let's just have them be destroyed. And you know what makes this bullshit writing? It was the Paladin guy that destroyed the Source of All. He was the one who destroyed the relics, not Uma. Uma didn't do anything. Uma's kids eventually got the sword and crown to the evil in the first place. She didn't prevent them from falling into the hands of evil. She made sure it happened. The heroes get shown the web of fate, and finally Khan lampshades why his people have been made to suffer if the spider people are already so well informed, and why the hell they aren't sharing their wisdom with the rest of the Dragon Kingdom. Or the rest of the world, hello. They probably value not spoiling the events of the future more than anything. I'd like to point out that at no point is it even implied that the reboot of the comic is in the web of fate. Instead, we're told about future prosperity brought to the kingdom by Khan, which the reboot supposedly happens before that could happen. Long before. I mean, the Iron Queen gets taken care of, but still, Eggman isn't gone. The warring clans don't stop happening. I'd like to take this as proof that the reboot comic is entirely separate and unrelated continuity, because otherwise the Web of Fate would have predicted the Genesis wave and not have knowledge of the future that contradicts it so much. Take that, reboot! The Bride says that her logic is it is their web, not something for the rest of the kingdom. Also, the Web of Fate may tell of the key moments to come, but not of how they come to be, so it cannot be used for something like day-to-day tactics. Khan continues to lose his temper as the Bride reminds him of her authority, and fortunately Sally interrupts to save the day, reminding Khan that unorganized free people can live alongside the other clans comfortably. Sally then comes to the conclusion that there could always be a peaceful option, just because the web doesn't show the way to each point ahead. Okay then. Just because the web doesn't show the way to each point doesn't mean that the way isn't predetermined. It just isn't shown to them. The Bride asks Khan if he'd recognize the Gossamer clan in his land, or if they'd be opening themselves up to a new king of the Four Houses. Khan reassures her with his word of honor and then gets mad at Sonic, doubting that she'd believe him, and says that word of honor is sacred in his country. That doesn't necessarily guarantee that she should believe him. She doesn't know him. Khan says to the clan that he needs their support, and the Bride says she'll consult the web and see what it directs. She decides that while the road ahead is full of peril, it'll be worth it in the end. So she agrees to support them and reject the Iron Dominion. Wait, how is it full of peril? I mean, we're never even gonna see this Spider Clan again. Then we see the heroes at Lee's house, and Khan makes Sally feel better, and Sally makes him feel better, the two both reassuring each other over their insecurities. Sonic reassures Tails casually that he's sure Amy and everyone else back home have everything under control with Nicole's help. Lee Moon pours Tails some tea, saying that it's nice to see him and Sonic again, and then for the sake of conflict, the teacup gets broken by a thrown spear. Sally calms down Khan by saying that if the person who did that meant to hurt them, they would have aimed for them and not the tea kettle. As Tails uses his tails to fan and dry off Lee Moon, Sonic complains that was good tea, and asks what the note on the spear says. The note reveals that the leader of the local Yagyu encampment wants to meet with Sonic, and Sally lampshades that word travels fast around here. Yeah, especially without the internet. Well, then again, they are working for the Iron Queen, and maybe she has access to the Eggnet, but she's a dictator, so why would she give it to them? This issue is by Ian Flynn, and rather than involving Sonic fighting his way past ninjas like I expected at first, it's really about him coming to visit the leader of the Spider Clan peacefully with his friends kidnapped to ensure that. The leader reveals that they have the Web of Fate. Makes sense for the Spider Clan to have the thread of fate with them. It was actually pretty genius. I like that the leader explains that it's not too overpowered of a tool for them to have because they don't know how they'll get to the key points in fate. Except, first of all, we see threads to those points in the thread of fate, so that doesn't make sense. And the leader consulted the Web of Fate to see if they should help Sonic. And she mentioned that the road ahead was full of peril. If the Web of Fate can't show you the road ahead to the end result, which is prosperity, then how the hell did she know the road ahead? That's a blatant contradiction. Was she lying to Sonic? But I like the fact that the leader decides to side with Sonic and reject the Iron Dominion, and that it took her a long time to get mad at Khan and didn't get offended at Sonic and Tails being informal with her. She's a reasonable authority figure. It's refreshing, especially for the first leader they see. I really like the fact that the Web of Fate exists, if only because it disproves the idea that Sonic meeting Mega Man happened in this particular continuity, because the web would have predicted the Genesis wave if it were destined to happen there, and warned everyone. They would have all been panicking. I don't care that it originated in another universe. The crossover Genesis wave effects still would have affected this world and validated everything predicted by the web, making it worthless. It wouldn't predict stuff that wouldn't come true. And I also like Khan comforting Sally, and the two making each other feel bad about their insecurities. Sonic and Sally never had a mutual moment like that.